Rare historical images you have not seen before. Winston Churchill in Boer captivity, right, Republic of South Africa, 1899. The Boers put a reward of £25 for his capture and circulated the following announcement: prisoner of war escape. Winston Spencer Churchill, Englishman, 25 years old, about 173 centimeters tall, of medium build, slightly stooped, dull facial features, reddish-brown hair, almost invisible mustache. He speaks through his nose and cannot pronounce the letter S, was dressed in a brown suit, does not speak a word of Dutch. Che Guevara, with Bolivian soldiers before the death penalty. Bolivia, 1967. The executioner was Mario Terán, a 26-year-old Bolivian army sergeant who personally wanted to kill Che Guevara and revenge for his friends killed in earlier battles with his unit. To make the wounds fit the story the Bolivian government planned to present to the public, CIA agent Felix Rodriguez ordered Terán to aim carefully so that it would appear that Guevara had been killed in action. Photo of arrested gypsy fortune tellers in a New York City police station, 1934. The Boeing crash on Lake Korpijärvi, Karelian ASSR, 1978. A Boeing 707 airliner of Korean Airlines was on a passenger flight from Paris to Anchorage to Seoul when it deviated considerably and ended up over the Kola Peninsula, thereby violating the air border of the USSR. There it was intercepted, and after attempts to make it land voluntarily, it was strafed with an air-to-air rocket by a Soviet Su-15 fighter interceptor, and because of the damage the fuselage received as a result of the shelling, made an emergency landing on ice in Korpijärvi Lake, in Lewski district of Karelian ASSR. 2 people were killed as a result of the bombardment. Funeral of Mao Zedong, China, September 18, 1976. Generals Eisenhower, Bradley, and Patton watch former concentration camp prisoners demonstrate the torture methods they were subjected to. Ohrdruf, Germany, April 12, 1945. The famous picture of a little girl turned away from the loom to the factory window, which became a symbol of the struggle against child labor, USA, 1908. The famous German racing driver Hermann on the track of the Berlin Autodrome, 1959. That day at 218 km/h, his car's brakes failed, and he drove his car into bags of straw, which served as safety buffers at the time. The car was toppled, overturned, the pilot fell out and slid down the wet, rainy track. After a minor scare, he was nicknamed Lucky Hans and celebrated his 91st birthday this February. Still, Hermann Göring in the dock during the Nuremberg trials, 1946. German Reichstag chairman. Hermann Göring never acknowledged the decision of the military tribunal. The victor is always the judge and the vanquished the condemned. I do not recognize the decision of this court. I am glad that I have been sentenced to execution, for those who sit in prison are never made martyrs, Göring said in his last word. On the night of October 15th, Hermann Göring poisoned himself with potassium cyanide, thereby avoiding the death penalty.